My name's Archie Jamieson. I'm the Chief Instructor of Gold Coast Skydive, and I'm here today with Creative Disorder magazine. First of all, we sign you up in the Australian Parachute Federation and sign all the necessary waivers. Jump out of a plane, you're doing it at your own risk. There are things that can happen. It is a dangerous sport at the end of the day, so we have to make people aware of all of that. You then hand it over to one of the instructors. The training side of things for a tandem is very simple. We try and take some of that pressure off you so you can concentrate on enjoying the experience rather than have to remember a whole lot of stuff. So we run you through that. It's only 5 or 10 minutes. Then from here we go to the airport, which is just around the corner. Jump in the plane, it takes about 15 minutes to get up to hot jump altitude. You're attached to your tandem master, goggles on, and then we throw you out the door. From here we jump at about 12,000 feet most of our jumps, which gives you an average of about 45 seconds of free fall and about 5 minutes under the parachute, and we land on the beach at North Kira there. Magic location. It goes very fast. You suffer from a thing called sensory overload the first time you step out of the plane, or the first few times. So, which is basically there's too much for your mind to comprehend. You're taught as a child that if you fall off something or you fall out of it when you hit the ground, it's going to hurt. So to jump out of a plane is an unnatural thing to do, really, for the human mind. So you've got to sort of trick yourself into that. And knowledge conquers fear with skydiving. People go to me, oh, you're crazy, you jump out of planes. But I've got $25,000 worth of equipment on my back. I know how to work it. I've got lots of experience. Our planes are properly maintained. And I've got 2 little daughters at home. I want them to grow up, so I'm not going to do anything crazy as such. So yeah, it's a risk management industry, I guess you'd call it. We get the best equipment that money can buy. We jump in the right conditions, and we try and keep our safety levels up as high as possible. We've got one of the most experienced crews in the country here, purely because of our location. We're right beside an international airport, as I said, so we're very restricted airspace-wise. The boys have to be onto it, so we've got ex-Australian and current Australian representatives. All the guys have got thousands, if not tens of thousands of jumps. So very experienced and all full-time professional skydivers. So we try and click with you because we've got to work as a team and work together to get ourselves back on the ground safely. So and we get all sorts of people that are scared, people that are a bit gung-ho, that we have to pull back a little bit. So everybody's different, and the boys are trained to deal with all of that. So yeah, pretty much. If you've got a reasonable level of fitness, I mean, the oldest person that we've taken is late 90s. And it's an amazing thing. The youngest person I've taken is 5, which is a little bit young. I don't necessarily agree with that. I've got a 6-year-old daughter. If she did ask me, because she's grown up in the industry, I'd certainly take her without any problems at all, because she knows it and she understands it. She did 40 jumps inside mum's belly before she was born, so she gets the sport. So, but it's pretty much for anybody. I mean, as I say, it's on a lot of people's bucket list, so they want to get up there and have a go at it. I'm currently in the Australian parachute team, myself and our general manager Alana Bertram, competing in the freestyle event. There's about 14 different events on a world scale, and we've got the World Championships coming up here in Australia on the Gold Coast in October 2018. So we came up with the crazy idea that we wanted to be heavily involved in that. So we put together a freestyle team called Running Hot. The way freestyle works is basically she's the performer, I'm the cameraman. And it's like an aerial ballet, if you like. So she's got a series of moves to perform, and I've got to make sure I capture that and be zooming all around it at the same time. But there's everything from formation skydiving to canopy formation skydiving, high performance canopy flight, so swooping, where you're flying through a series of gates that are placed on a pond, and the modern parachutes are going 100 metres along the ground without any problems at all. The way the equipment's advanced over the years is quite remarkable. Well, we've got the Commonwealth Games on the Gold Coast next year, which is a big deal. There hasn't been a World Championships in Australia since 1999, and the current CEO of the Australian Parachute Federation, Brad Turner, is a former world champion, very much into competitive skydiving, and we've got one of the most amazing locations in the world to be able to host it. We've got some very good help from Events Queensland and Gold Coast Tourism Queensland. and a good event to back up the Commonwealth Games. There'll be up to 1,000 competitors that come to the Gold Coast, plus all the help, your sports psychs, your physiotherapists, your packers, your riggers, all that sort of thing. So it's going to drag a lot of people to town. It'll be a big event for sure. Alana and I won the 2017 Australian titles, which gave us a right to compete in Germany this year. We decided not to, because it was a long way to go for a 7-jump competition. We decided to spend that money on training rather than on competing at this year's World Cup. We wanted to compete on the Gold Coast. So we do a lot of training in the wind tunnel. We've got a camp coming up in Russia in a few weeks' time. So we'll do 12 or 13 hours of wind tunnel time each while we're over there. And then we've got a 120 jump training camp. So from now until the Australian titles next year, which we have to win to get an Australian jersey, we want to do about 400 jumps and another 30 hours of wind tunnel time. So, but we're up against full-time professional competitors that are paid to win gold medals. So it's certainly going to be a tough road. We're funding this ourselves, so trying to find the money is half the battle. And of course, being the managing director and Alana being the general manager, we need a good team of people around us to keep the business running while we're off training. So the judging is performed with air-to-air video. So for example, in our event, I'm wearing a camera, and I'm judged not only on my camera work and moves, I should say, Alana's judged on her moves, and I'm also judged on the standard of camera work. So she's got to be in the centre and nice and still, and I've got to perform moves around her. With formation skydiving, it's 4 or 8 people. They're in a belly orientation, and the cameraman sits above them. They've got a set working time to build as many different formations in either 35 or 45 seconds. And then the cameraman is just sitting above them, and that footage is handed in to the judges as soon as they land, and it's judged on the spot. So it's all pretty much live judging. Different events, different heights. 4-way formation skydiving is 9,500 feet, for example. Freestyle and free fly events, all the artistic events are 13,000 feet. And then 8-way formation skydiving is back down to 11,500 feet. So different height for different events and different working times as well. So it depends what it is that you're in. With things like canopy swooping, we're getting out at 5,000 feet because it's just out in your parachute. You set yourself up. It's all about the landing and your accuracy and how you fly a parachute. Best experiences, that's a good question. I've done a lot of display jumps. Like I was saying earlier, it's something that's a little bit out of the box. You're landing in a different landing area, so that's always an exciting part of the sport, that's for sure. I've landed on the back of jet skis. I've landed at Robina Town Centre on a little rubber raft. Done lots of TV work and stuff over the years, TV and stunt work, so all sorts of different things there. Landed in the beer garden of the Brunswick Heads Hotel at night time. So all of that sort of thing is pretty amazing and pretty scary too. I'm glad I'm still in one piece after all these years.